The following program does not necessarily reflect the opinions and viewpoints of the staff and management of this station.
Welcome to the wonderful world of seniors, the best of all worlds. You now have the time, resources, and ability to enjoy what you have worked for all your life. So let's explore the many possibilities available to seniors on Senior World Radio. Senior World Radio is your source for senior citizens-related topics, information, and entertainment. Now, here is your host of Senior World Radio, Glenn Howard.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Senior World Radio, the wonderful world of seniors. Seniors today live longer, have better health, greater opportunities than any group in history. It is indeed a wonderful time to be a senior. But today we've got a show that I think you're going to really find not only interesting, but very helpful. All of us have heard about calling 911 if you've got an emergency. But there is a telephone number that you can call for non-emergency services that, frankly, I didn't know existed until the other day when I had a chance to visit with Lisa Harper over at an organization called Heartline. I was so impressed with what she was doing, I invited her to come up to the studio and tell us a little bit about Heartline, about the Oklahoma 211, and kind of give us some idea of all the services that are available not only to seniors but to anyone who has need of information. And so Lisa is with us this morning. Lisa Harper, welcome. Good to have you in the studio.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Notice you are, by title, they say the Director of Development for an organization called Heartline Oklahoma. Website heartlineoklahoma.org. Tell me about Heartline.
Well, Heartline, we connect Oklahomans to help, hope, and information 24 hours a day. So how do we do that? Well, you mentioned 211, which is one of the main ways that we do that. 211, just like dialing 911 or 411, but it's for access to health and human services. So maybe someone is looking for a food pantry or a service like Meals on Wheels or a free or sliding scale health clinic, any basic human need that we all have, and you're going, I need some help filling that need, but I have no idea who I'm supposed to call, who can help me. 211 is there 24 hours a day to connect you.
Very interesting indeed. Help, hope, information. Information, what kind of information? What could people expect? If they called 211, what kind of information would you have available to share with them? Information
like, I'm looking for an organization to volunteer my time, but I'm not sure who to call. And so what we might do is we're going to look up your zip code. You're going to give your zip code. We're going to look it up and say, well, these organizations are near you, and here are their phone numbers if you'd like to contact them. Would be the same if you were looking for information on, say, a mental health clinic or a food pantry or any kind of service that you're needing help. Our job is to try to find you resources. So that information we're giving is, here are some agencies that can help you. Here are some phone numbers to connect you to that help. Our data shows that without 211, without our connection to that information, that someone makes an average of 8 phone calls looking for help. That means 8 different places saying, no, I can't help you, try this place. No, we can't do that. Call here. Imagine how frustrated you'd be after 8 phone calls of someone telling you, no, I can't help, no, I can't help. So we're cutting that out, and we're giving you that direct connection to information.
How are you funded? Is this a subscription? Do people have to join your organization and pay a membership fee to get these kind of services, or how are you funded?
No, people don't have to join anything. It's a free and confidential service offered 24 hours a day. We are a local nonprofit agency, so we have a really diverse set of funding. One we're really proud of is we're a United Way partner agency. So we get some funding from United Way, but that means we also go through a pretty rigorous process of being vetted, and they look at what we do and put it against best practices. We also receive some funding from government contracts, as well as we seek funding through foundations, corporations. We have fundraising events. So about 50% of our budget we raise through fundraising efforts.
I'm impressed with this, Lisa. The idea, first of all, 211, that's pretty easy to remember. I'm guessing about anything that's, you don't deal with any emergency stuff like the 911 thing at all, do you?
No, we don't deal with any emergency. If someone was in a medical emergency, the 911 is still that right place to call.
So a person who is just wanting information about an agency or an organization or maybe referral of a doctor or maybe just a lonely. What if somebody at 2 o'clock in the morning, a little anxious, wanted somebody to talk to? Can they call you and have a friendly voice on the other line just to talk?
Absolutely. That is another part of who we are, is compassionate listening. Heartline was founded as Contact Crisis Helpline back in 1971. And so many people know us from that previous name, and we started with a line called the Care Line. And the premise of that was just that sometimes people need to talk. They need someone who will listen with compassion and without judgment. And so we still answer that line today, but those lines are put through to 211 because it's the same people and the same training. So anytime, no matter what time of day it is, if you're feeling like, I just wish I had someone to talk to for a few minutes. I wish someone was just there to listen, not to give me advice, not to fix my problems, but just to be there to listen to me with compassion. We're absolutely there for that.
I like that. The whole idea, particularly with a lot of seniors, I think there are a lot of seniors who are very lonely, who start worrying about things, wondering what can I do, what are resources available to me, who can I talk to, is this something that I really need to see an attorney, or do I need to have somebody check into this, or my mind is just kind of running wild right now of the many alternatives, everything from the hot water tank's gone out, I need a plumber, don't know who to call, to I'm not really feeling well. I'm not really sure if I'm having health problems, or is this the kind of thing you're talking about?
It could be, if that's what someone is really concerned about and they just want somebody to be a listening ear to kind of help them figure it out. Part of our goal and our job is to help empower people to improve and better their situation. So maybe they do need to just talk through a problem or something they're concerned about. And maybe we have a resource, or maybe we just kind of come to maybe you should try this option. And either way, that's okay. We're there to listen and to help empower people to make good decisions and move forward in life.
I noticed, Lisa, that you have an MBA. How did you get involved in an organization like this? What's your background?
Well, while I was getting my MBA at the University of Central Oklahoma, I was working for a really small office called the Oklahoma Office of Faith-Based and Community Initiatives. And that is an office that kind of brings people together on important issues and helps people from the community and faith-based organizations and government all come together and say, hey, we're trying to achieve the same goals. And when I worked there, we referred people to 211 a lot, because people would call in wanting our help, and we'd say, well, call 211, they can help you, or they know the right resource. And so I grew to understand a lot about the agency and looked for something a little bit more permanent, and so that's how I found my way over at Heartline.
I saw one of your brochures the other day, which very nice little brochure, said, get connected, get answers. And comment at the top of it was, the essence of 211 is in its simplicity. And some of the statements you make on there are really very interesting. 211 is available to everyone across the state. So this is not just a city service, is it? Not in Oklahoma City. Right.
This is a statewide service. And Heartline, the agency I'm with, we answer for 40 counties in central and western Oklahoma. And then there's a different nonprofit that answers for the eastern half, the Tulsa Community Service Council. But together, we can access the whole database. So it's a statewide service, and anyone could call, and no matter which call center they hit, they're going to get help.
So this is available to anyone across the state, number that is very easy to remember. And I notice it is free and confidential, 24 hours, 7 days a week. How important is confidentiality to most of your people who call in, do you think?
I think confidentiality is really important because some people are calling about a need that maybe they haven't told friends or family that they're having, and they don't want everyone else to know. They just want to get a little bit of help. And sometimes asking for help is hard. You know, if you're not used to it, if you haven't had to do it before, it can be difficult. And so it's important to us that your experience is confidential and that the people that talk with you treat you with kindness and compassion, and you're always going to get that service, and nobody's ever going to need to know that you called and reached out for help.
I can think a few of our seniors would really appreciate having somebody to talk to besides their kids. I mean, you know, it's nice to talk to your kids, but sometimes your kids are a little short, they're busy, you feel like, gee, I don't want to bother them, they are so busy, I don't want to take up their time, and really not having any idea where to go. Sounds to me like 211's an alternative for them.
Definitely. And, you know, sometimes family, as well-intentioned as they are, they jump straight to trying to help you instead of really just listening, like you said, you know. And so we can be there for that.
I think that's true not only of kids. My wife accuses me of doing that, trying to solve the problem before I've heard what it is. And I guess I got to plead guilty to that. Notice that also your comment that you help deliver services more efficiently by pinpointing what kind of service is really needed. I guess sometimes when people call up, they realize there's a problem. They really don't know exactly what the problem is or how to approach it. I'm imagining you're probably going to help articulate that problem, help them define it. Am I on the right track?
You're definitely on the right track. So part of our job, it's not just to pick up the phone and say, okay, you need a food bank, here's their phone number, thanks, bye. That's really not what we're there for. We're there to help talk you through your whole situation. So what's really going on? Maybe you called today because you need some help getting access to food, but maybe there's a little more. Maybe you're also feeling kind of down and you'd like to find a support group. Or, you know, there's some other things happening in your life. And so as we talk with you and hear more about your story and your life, we might be able to find some other ways to help you out, to connect you to more than one resource. So that's definitely part of it, is helping people kind of figure out what's really going on and how can we connect you to not just help to stop and fix that one situation, but help to empower you to help you move forward.
I'm Glenn Howard, Senior World Radio, visiting today with Lisa Harper. Lisa Harper is the Director of Development for an organization called Heartline. Their website is heartlineoklahoma.org. Oklahoma is spelled out in full, the whole O-K-L-A-H-O-M-A, heartlineoklahoma.org. And they are the people who are providing the Oklahoma 211 phone number. We got to take a break. We're coming right back, so please don't go away.
You're nobody till somebody loves you. You're nobody till somebody cares.
Have you ever had a problem, but it seemed like there was no one who could help? You spent hours calling around, being referred from one place to the next. Well, not anymore. I want to tell you about a free and easy-to-use service in Oklahoma. 211 is a simple 3-digit phone number to get help or to give help when you don't know where to turn. Dialing 211 only takes a minute, and you are connected with a caring Oklahoman who will help you find the assistance you've been looking for. With access to over 13,000 programs, Heartline 211 can connect you to local resources for many different needs, including health care, food, counseling, rent assistance, disability assistance, job services, and much more. 211 is a service of Heartline, a United Way partner agency. 211, the right first call to get help or give help 24 hours a day.
Hi, my name's Jason Ledlow, president of UT Phone, the ultimate telephone service. We're proud to be a sponsor of Senior World Radio with Glenn Howard. UT Phone is dedicated to providing Oklahomans affordable telephone service all across our great state. We have Lifeline home phone service starting at just $1.95. That's right, just $1.95, and most of Oklahoma's seniors qualify for this reduced home phone service. They get to keep their old home phone number, and it even includes long distance. Another great feature of UT Phone's customers really like is that it includes repair service. That's right, any repairs at no additional charge. With many telephone services charging $40 to $50 per month, it makes sense to switch your service to UT Phone. This service is a federal program that is provided through the Universal Service Fund. There is only one per household, so make it UT Phone's home phone service for $1.95. Give us a call at 800-996-0098. Again, call 800-996-0098.
I've made up my mind.
Welcome back to Senior World Radio. I'm Glenn Howard, visiting this morning with Lisa Harper. Lisa is the Director of Development for Heartline, the website heartlineoklahoma.org, better known for their Oklahoma 211. You've often heard about calling 911 in case of an emergency. I'm about to conclude that you can call 211 for about everything else with all kind of information because, Lisa, this has been very interesting to me. Tell me a little bit more about how people, what kind of uses they have, because, 211 is so new to me. Frankly, until I met you, I really didn't know that there was such a thing as this, and I'm trying to get my mind around how we can encourage people to use 211 to solve their problems. You use the expression it provides help, hope, and information. Gee, we all like that. Give me an illustration of a little bit more what you're talking about.
Sure. So like you said, it can be kind of hard. There's a lot of different things that we can provide someone. So what might you call for? Well, for an example, we recently had a caller who had just found out, had been with the doctor and just found out that she was diagnosed with arthritis. And she was a little scared, a little intimidated, didn't know how to approach it, and maybe, a little frustrated with her situation. And so she called and talked with the call specialist. And they're there just to listen and say, hey, I'm here, tell me how you're feeling. And the other was to help her find some resources to learn how to deal with this new diagnosis. And so they connected her to some different medical resources so she could better understand and learn how to live with this new diagnosis. Another example, one of our top needs is housing and utilities. So what that often looks like is somebody who maybe they're on a fixed income and they're having a harder time making that stretch every month. And so, maybe they're getting close to being evicted because they can't meet that rent, or the utility was kind of high that month and it's putting a little too much financial strain. There are resources to connect them to help pay that extra high utility bill or help cover the rent that month. And that's one of the top needs we get calls for.
That is very interesting because I think a lot of people fall in that category with a real frustration and need a friendly voice that they can turn to. A friend indeed, certainly available at 211. What are some of the kind of services that you are providing?
One of our other main helplines that we offer is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
Suicide prevention?
Yes, suicide prevention.
Wow. Tell me more.
Well, that number is 1-800-273-TALK. And what is that number there for? Just like 211, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Doesn't matter what time it is. We're there, ready to listen and ready to hear. And sometimes those thoughts of depression and suicide, they're really hard to vocalize and to tell the people in your life about. You might be a little afraid of how they're going to react. And so this is a free, confidential 24-hour place that you can open up, and you're not going to receive judgment. You're just going to receive compassion and someone who is there to try to help you. We have lots of different mental health resources and things that we can do to help someone in that situation. So even though it may feel really hopeless, there is hope, and we're here to try to connect you to that hope.
The 800-273-TALK number may be hard to remember. Can the 211 number also be used for this?
Absolutely. All of our call specialists are cross-trained, meaning they're trained to answer any of those phone lines. So if someone did call 211 for that, they're absolutely going to receive that same service.
A lot of talk about suicide tends to center on kids, teenagers, and so forth. Is this a problem among the elderly?
It is, in fact. There's two kind of high-risk populations, and one of them is youth, and so you see a lot of focus there. But the other is older adults, specifically males, have a high risk of suicide, and often that looks like someone who's already dealing with maybe some depression, maybe they're lonely. Some of their family are gone or moved away, and they feel very alone. And often one of the top reasons we see in that population is also physical illness. They feel like maybe they're burdening their friends and family, or it's becoming really difficult to manage. And so all of that kind of piles up, and they start to feel down and alone and like they can't handle everything that's going on. And that we're here for that. You know, we want to talk with you. We want to be here to listen and know that there is hope out there, and we really want to help you find it.
The famed novelist Hemingway, I understand, was in that category, who, as he got to the end of his life, took a shotgun and put it in his mouth. Suicide is something that doesn't just strike the down and out. It's something that is a major problem across the board. And I think people really feel helpless and no place to turn. You know, there was a day when you tell people, go talk to your pastor, but so many people do not really have a pastor, or they're involved in some kind of a big church where, you know, they're one of 5,000 and the pastor doesn't know who they are. So who do they turn to? And the idea of 211 being a friendly, confidential voice to at least talk to and say, here's what I'm thinking, to help people evaluate their situation. Lisa, I'm impressed with that. I really am. I'm sure you had some real success stories with this kind of experience, have you not?
Yeah, we definitely have. You know, most people who call in really are just looking for a place to talk. And, you know, that's what we're there for, and to connect them to resources. We also can do emergency interventions. So if someone has decided that they're not safe by themselves and they really need someone to be there with them and come help them, we can do an emergency intervention that involves the police. But we definitely have lots of success stories. What our goal on that call is to help come to what we call a safety plan. So what's your plan moving forward to help make things better? How do we connect you to something? And so that's what we're going to do with anybody who calls in, is try to find, you know, what is that hope? What is that thing that you connect to in life? And how do we help you move forward? Because a lot of people don't understand why someone might be in that place of feeling like suicide is the only option. And suicide is really about pain. Whether that's physical pain or emotional pain, it's about pain that you feel like will never end. Like there's no other way to get rid of that pain but to take your life. And you don't see how that might hurt other people. You don't see the other effects. All you see is that pain and how it feels to you. And so, you know, we're there to try to help you see through the pain and to the hope that's on the other side.
You know, I really feel like in 6 years of doing this show, this is one of the topics that probably is one of the most critical, beneficial, and simple programs that we've had. The ability to have something so simple, 211. I mean, everybody can remember call 211 for about anything. When you mentioned the other day that you offer information on housing and utility assistance, you know, I can easily see somebody coming up to the end of the month before the next check comes in, getting threatening letters, the frustration of where can I go, what can I do? You don't want to call friends and become a beggar, asking friends or neighbors, what's my alternatives? And the ability to have somebody who would just simply discuss various alternatives and say, here's a possibility. Lisa, I'm impressed with that.
Well, you know, it's a very unique service, and there's not really anything else like it. And the more people know about it, the more we hope that we can help them. And, you know, that's one great example of some services we can connect people to. And, you know, a few other examples of some of our top needs are healthcare. And, you know, that's a big topic right now for lots of different reasons. But, you know, sometimes you need a little bit of help in that area. And there are many different free, or what we call sliding scale, which means they might require a small copay, but it's much smaller than what you usually would if you don't have insurance or something like that. And there are many of them across the state that can help people who are uninsured or are needing some help in that area. And so that's another really common need that we have, that people may go, man, I really need to go see a doctor or a dentist, but I don't have insurance. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Call 211. Give us a call.
A friendly voice that you can discuss alternatives with, that's non-judgmental, that's confidential. I like that. I really do. One more comment you put on your brochure here, though, that I want to ask you about. You say that 211 has proven itself time after time as an invaluable resource after a disaster. Talk about that.
So I'm sure most of everyone is going to remember the recent tornadoes that we just had and how that really affected not just the communities it hit, but our whole state really was affected by that, and whether it was emotionally or wanting to reach out and help. So in situations like that, people are often either looking to get help or give help, and we're here for both. So let's say that you're a victim of the storm and you've lost your home, and so as you're trying to put life together, you're going, I've lost everything. Now I need new furniture, and I need food to stock my pantry, and I need all these things to rebuild my life, and we're here for that. We have those resources. We sit on several different disaster-related committees. So as soon as those disasters happen, we have those new resources coming in, because all kinds of agencies pop up and say, hey, we're helping, we're offering this new service, and we're at the table getting that information as soon as it's available. So again, people think, well, maybe I should just call the Red Cross, or maybe I should just call 911. But when people are looking for disaster recovery resources, how do I move forward? How do I rebuild? We're here for that. And we're also here for, I want to help. I want to donate my time. I want to donate some water bottles. I want to donate in some way, but I don't know who to give to. I don't know who needs my stuff. We're here for that. And so you can call 211 and say, I want to volunteer. I want to donate. And we can connect you to the right agency for the way that you want to help.
Let me encourage everybody right now, pick up a telephone, call 211 and say, hey, I heard about this service on the radio. I just wanted to get acquainted with you and find out if it really is for real. Give them a call. Get a chance to talk to them. I think Lisa's giving you some tremendous information. We're so delighted to have Heartline working with us. I'm Glenn Howard, Senior World Radio. Lisa Harper with 211, offering a wonderful service to people. Now listen, some of you do have people that have stories that you've been wanting us to tell. Give me a call at 877-875-0990. That's our Senior World Radio line. We'd sure love to get in touch with people, bring them on, and talk to them about their story. Lisa, thank you for coming in today. This has been exciting. 211 can be a lifesaver to a lot of people. I hope they'll use it. Thanks so much. Time's up. We got to go. God bless. We'll see you the same time next week. Till then, be kind to one another. Love somebody, especially yourself. Bye-bye now.
I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I found ever since you've been around.